Welcome to the JP8 Report. This is James Pierce with the JP8 Report, episode 417. Good morning, everybody. Welcome to the JP8 Report. Having a good day. I hope you are. I'm tired. I ain't going to get into it. It's an ongoing thing here. That's all right. I will live. Man, did you hear the president this morning? He's still overseas, and they were bludgeoning him about this memorandum of understanding, right? It's not a ceasefire. It's not a peace agreement. It's a memorandum of understanding, okay? Well, but some reporters said, well, what happens if they violate it and won't listen to you? Then we'll start dropping bombs again. And then they said, well, what if, he said, you don't understand. We will start dropping bombs on their head. I mean, that's paraphrasing. That's exact, but pretty much close to what he was saying. They don't get it. They will, like the vice president said yesterday on Fox. You know, Iran could elect Donald Trump as the spiritual leader in Iran, and the Democrats will still object. There's no winning. There is absolutely no winning. They don't care. They just hate the orange man. That's what. That's it. They just this utter hatred. That's how we got in this predicament with these stupid people that got arrested over the weekend trying to bomb the UFC fight. It's utter hatred out there. Man. Okay. So let's get started. We got the follow the podcast. Click the little bell, scroll down, click follow, okay? And then give me a like for the show today. I really appreciate it. You're free to chat in here if you want. That'd be great. Covite for Life is usually in here, and he's not in here yet. I don't know what's up right now, but that's all right. But please do so. Let's get engaged and learn a little bit about the day. Like I said, I've been up since 1:30 in the morning, Central. All right. America 250 event. So what happened on this day in 1776? Well, citizens across the colonies instructed their representatives to vote for independence, pledging their, quote, lives and fortunes, unquote, to the cause. Okay? So that's what happened today in 1776. Now we have the armament shop. Whether you're looking for your first firearm, upgrading your setup, or need expert service, Jason at the Armament Shop is Copper's Cove's premier source for all things shooting. Browse our wide selection for pistols, rifles, and shotguns, backed by top-tier gunsmithing for repairs, along with reloading supplies, and professional cleaning to keep your firearm in peak condition. Need a transfer? We make FFL transfers fast, easy, and affordable. Need your CHL? Jason can handle those classes both in person and online. He has over 3 decades of experience. Visit the Armament Shop today at 115A West Avenue D in Coppers Cove, or call or text 254-560-2023, or you can visit at www.armamentshop.com. That's www.armamentshop.com. The Armament Shop, your safety, our priority. All right. Thank you all for tuning in today. Don't forget, follow button and like button and chat with me, okay? All right. So we have the Iran update. So the President Trump is in talks with the Palestinian Authority to repair ties and to advance the Abraham Accords. Oil prices are down. You will see in just a couple of minutes. Whoo, doggy. Australia lowers its travel advisory for people going to Israel, Bahrain, Kuwait, Qatar, and the United Arab Emirates. As everybody has finally figured out, Israel doesn't support the Memorandum of Understanding, and I wouldn't doubt that some of the people were being nefarious in trying to sow discord into the American people to accept that Memorandum of Understanding. The signing for it, the ceremonial signing for it is Friday in Geneva. It's already been digitally signed. Matter of fact, ships are already going through the Strait of Hormuz. Qatar and Pakistan are asking the U.S. to delay releasing the text of the MOU. It could come out as early as today or tomorrow before Friday. It's scheduled to come out on Friday. Another War Powers Act attempt was attempted in the United States Senate by Raphael Warnock, a Democrat from Georgia. It failed 47 to 48, which means it was bipartisan because you had some Republicans joining the Democrats and one Democrat voted with the Republicans, and 5 senators didn't even bother to vote. The G7 wants less dependence on the Strait of Hormuz, and they're actively engaged in trying that right now. For example, Saudi Arabia has a couple of pipelines going from what do you call it? From the eastern province of Saudi Arabia all the way to the Red Sea, and then the United Arab Emirates is building 2 pipelines going from the Persian Gulf area straight across their country to the Omanian Gulf, completely bypassing the Strait of Hormuz. And then there's another one about there's a pipeline going toward Egypt also, and they want to employ that one yet. So basically, the G7 is just trying to save the economic possibilities in the world by limiting the dependency on the Strait of Hormuz. Okay, and then what else? Don't listen to the press. Don't listen to the press until you see and hear the president present that MOU. Israel did a drone strike in Lebanon, killed 4 people. And then Iran, this is laughable, but Iran warns the U.S. any breach will be met with decisive, crushing resolve. Yeah. All right, sure. Brent crude oil, as of about an hour ago, was at $79.62 a barrel. West Texas Intermediate was at $76.75 a barrel. And the Dow Jones had a record close yesterday. It was up 328.64. It closed at 51,999.67. They couldn't find 33 more cents to put it at 52,000 though. Okay, which is pretty good. So that's your Iran update for this morning. I'm sure it'll be completely different by tomorrow. Before we get into the election stuff that happened last night, we have more pre-election stuff going on. So in Dallas, here we come. All right. So you're like, James, what are you talking about? So Republicans are expected to gather. You heard the deal. The president wanted to have a midterm political convention to encourage people to get out and vote, to go vote for Republicans for the midterms, right? And it's pretty much fallen on deaf ears for the last several months. I mean, I've asked a couple of times about it. Well, it spilled out over the weekend because Ken Paxton said something about it. So Republicans are expected to gather in Texas this fall at a rare midterm national convention, creating a national stage for President Trump and GOP leaders to make their case to voters ahead of the 2026 election. The event, reportedly scheduled for September in Dallas, was all but confirmed this week when Attorney General Ken Paxton referenced the gathering during a teletown hall discussion on whether Trump would campaign in Texas on his behalf. He quoted, "I know that we are having a midterm convention in Dallas in September," said Paxton. The Republican National Committee has not yet formally announced the event, but party officials have publicly discussed the plans for a midterm convention for months. And Trump first floated the idea last year. Most recently, RNC Chair Joe Gruters indicated preparations were moving forward. I bet it's going to be at AT&T Stadium. In a very short there's a very short window of doing it after the last primaries have been cast and before the general election, Gruder said in May. But yes, we are very much moving forward with it. In January, the RNC amended its bylaws to allow a midterm convention because they're really expensive and hard to plan. All right. What they were saying, I read somewhere else, was that this will not include delegates. It'll just be people it'll be a rally on steroids, okay, with multiple candidates coming in and giving speeches and people there to listen to them. All right. But that's looks like it's going to happen in Dallas, and I would not doubt if it happened at AT&T Stadium. It does not say anything in there about where it's at. And I got this off the Texas Minute. All right. I wish they would have said, but it just didn't say what the location was. It just said it'd be in Dallas. Could be at American Airlines Arena too, but that would only hold like 5,000 people, and you want to maximize your effort. All right. So elections last night. There were runoffs and there were primaries in Georgia, Alabama, and Oklahoma. All right. And I got the results for you right here. For Georgia governor, the president's, The president's endorsement didn't work for Burt Jones. He lost to Rick Jackson, 53-47. It was a good try. But you still go out and vote for Rick Jackson, no matter what. Okay? Republicans vote for Republicans. Next, Mike Collins. Mike Collins was endorsed by President Trump for the United States Senate. He's going to go. He defeated Derek Dooley, 55-44. No runoff needed either. He will be facing off against John Ossoff, the sitting senator right now. He's a Democrat. But so that was 55-44. Mike Collins won. Vote for Mike Collins. Next race, we're shifting all the way over to Oklahoma. For Oklahoma governor, this is going to a runoff. Drummond, as of last night, he was leading Mike Mazzei, which is the president's endorsed candidate. He's leading him by a half a point, 26-25.6. So this is going into a runoff. So when they have the runoff election, get out and vote for Mike Mazzei for governor. Lieutenant governor. Lieutenant governor is really cool. So you have this young man, and he's not exactly young anymore. His name is T.W. Shannon. He used to be in the Texas state legislature. He was the Oklahoma state legislature. He was also the Speaker of the Oklahoma House. Uh, he's he was national chair of the Black Voices for Trump, and then he was a senior appointee to the Department of Agriculture in the Trump administration. He defeated Weaver, his opponent, 53-13, no runoff needed. So in November, vote for T.W. Shannon. Man, this guy is an awesome guy. I was wondering why he wasn't on Fox News for the last several months. He was running for office, all right, but he defeated his opponent 53-13, all right. For U.S. Senate, Congressman Kevin Hern ran for the United States Senate for the vacated seat from Mark Wayne Mullen, who's now the Homeland Security Secretary. They have a placeholder senator in there right now. But he crushed his opponent last night 69-14. And that means there's no runoff. So Kevin Hern, a great guy from Oklahoma, he's on his way to the United States Senate as soon as he wins on November 1st. Okay. Next one for Oklahoma 1st Congressional District. It was Tedford versus Laymeyer. It's going to a runoff. Laymeyer, Jackson Laymeyer is a pastor. He founded Pastors for Trump. Right now, he's in a runoff against Tedford. They finished up last night 31.9 to 25.9 was the end result. Man, distracted. Hold on. I think I got something on my glasses. No, I had something on my eyelashes. Okay, I'm all better. Okay, so there's going to be a runoff in that race right there. And then Tom Cole, the incumbent congressman in Oklahoma, the 4th Congressional District, he trounced his primary opponent 71 to 29%. Cole was also endorsed by President Trump also, and he won handily. No runoff needed. And then in Alabama for governor for Senate. I'm sorry. Yeah, for Alabama Senate, Tommy Tuberville decided not to run for re-election in the United States Senate because he ran and trounced his opponent for the nomination for governor because Grandma Ivy is term limited in Alabama, so he decided to run for her seat. So they needed a replacement in the United States Senate. Barry Moore, who was endorsed by President Trump, defeated his opponent last night. So there's no runoff needed there either because it's 55-44. All right. So the president lost one of his endorsements. That's all. But still, it's a very qualified Republican. All right. The worst Republican is better than the best Democrat. Remember that. Okay. Got that from Dan Bongino, which starts in 40 minutes. All right. So that was your elections from last night. So you remember yesterday, I was all torn up about this alleged terror plot that was disrupted at the very last second. And there was questions all across the board. Who, what, when, where, and why, right? So all we knew is the FBI found out about it on the 10th. They made arrests on the 12th. And the UFC event was on the 14th. That's how close it was. We know that they were planning to take drones and fly them into buildings with explosives on them, and then the ensuing panic start shooting innocent citizens as they were trying to flee the area. And when that was going on, they were going to send a group to storm the White House gate and kill as many people as possible. How in the world did they find out about it? So for years, y'all been hearing this: see something, say something. You see it at the schools a lot. See something, say something. Because if something bad is going to happen, someone knows. Somebody out there has a clue that something's about to happen, right? So it did. And I have two stories I'm going to go over real quick. All right. Put that right there so I don't forget. And these guys are a motley crew. All right. The FBI and law enforcement partners disrupted an alleged plot targeting this weekend's UFC Freedom 250 event in D.C. 5 people are in custody, right? And investigators identified 23 people, part of a potential network of plotters. The alleged plan, and I heard 12 on TV earlier this morning, but you can't believe everything you hear from the press. Then you got people like, I'm important, so listen to me. I've never said I'm important. I just do this because I like doing it and it's fun, and I know what I'm talking about. All right. So 5 people were in custody on Monday, right, and then 23 identified part of the plot. The alleged plan involved using explosive loaded drones, hit buildings, force evac, steer crowds to a pre-staged sniper team, and the second wave was supposed to storm the White House gate. The FBI learned of this threat on June 10 and worked with partners to secure probable cause for an arrest in Cincinnati, where one suspect was already taken into custody. Court documents identified that suspect as 19-year-old Tyson Proper. According to a criminal complaint, Proper allegedly spent $3,000 of his graduation money. Man, I remember when I graduated high school 39 years ago, but that's a whole other story. But so that being said, when I graduated high school, I think I was lucky to get like $200 for graduation. $3,000, man. But it said spent 3,000 of his graduation money to purchase lots of ammunition, guns, extra mags, and other items for the alleged attack. Authorities estimated that several boxes of ammo and look, sometimes I shorten the language and stuff. Okay, just bear with me. That Proper had allegedly acquired using thousands of rounds. It is also alleged that Proper acquired an AR-style rifle, a bullpup rifle, which are pretty cool, painted with an American flag, and 2 plate carriers, and AR-style mags. The family voluntarily turned over the equipment to law enforcement. His father told officers that Proper had quit his job to meet up with people that he met online to conduct missions and recons, according to the complaint. It said that Proper's mother had first alerted authorities over concerns about his recent alleged firearm purchases and communications with individuals online. 2 other individuals identified as Brian Omarosa and Michael Allen Thomas were arrested in California for alleged involvement in the plot. Both of the men are charged with conspiracy to commit murder, and they appeared in court Monday in Riverside. Brian Roa was arrested. Derek Eckridge of Kansas City. So we got eastern part of the country, middle part of the country, and far western part of the country. And Abraham Alvarez of Omaha, Nebraska, were also arrested. Court documents said Eckridge's wife told investigators he described himself as a recruiter for the group and had amassed tactical gear, including rifle, ammo, and other equipment in recent months. She said he built a firearms range on his property, and about 3 weeks before his arrest, and that she was aware of his signal communications through messages that appeared on a shared tablet. Why didn't she say something when it was all going on? Alvarez also operated under the online moniker Shepherd and served as the key organizer for the plot, using a signal chat to direct staging locations, sniper drone positions, escape routes, communications protocols. According to court documents, prosecutors said he also discussed coordinating with other groups and urged participants to obtain additional explosive capable drones, riding as many and as deadly as we can get. Multiple sources told Fox that those in custody are American citizens and a foreign nexus was not involved. The Secret Service said it worked closely with the FBI during the investigation. Investigators later uncovered signal chats, in which multiple people allegedly discussed attacking the UFC event. An initial interview of one suspect's iPhone identified at least 23 signal users discussing pre-operational activity. Some of those involved allegedly planned to travel to Fredericksburg, Virginia on June 12th or 13th to prepare for the attack. One suspect allegedly told investigators the goal was to target capitalist elites, billionaires, or politicians who received donations from the American Israel Public Affairs Committee. Okay? So, now, for the cool part. According to court documents viewed by Fox, Tyson Proper, 19-year-old Ohio man charged in connection with the alleged plot targeting the UFC on White House grounds, first came to investigators' attention after his mother became alarmed by his recent behavior and contacted authorities. Federal authorities allege Proper was part of a group that was planning an attack on at the Freedom 250 on June 14th, held at the White House South grounds. According to the complaint, one of the biggest warning signs came when Proper's mother observed him researching locations near Washington, D.C., and receiving maps and images through text messages and Discord. Like I said earlier, I don't even know how to get on Discord, and these kids are fully involved with it also. Uh, when when she confronted him, Proper allegedly said the group was planned to conduct recon and hit and run missions. She later told investigators she interpreted it as planning shootings. The criminal complaint reveals Proper's mother contacted authorities on June 10th after becoming concerned about her son's recent firearm purchases and communications with people that he met online. When deputies responded to the family's Knox County, Ohio home, Proper's father told officers his son had recently met people online and had been planning recons with them. He also said Proper planned to leave during the weekend of June 13 to meet members of the group. Proper's father told investigators his son had recently acquired firearms, body armor, ammo, and tack gear, allegedly spending about $3,000 of his graduation money for the purchases. Family members later voluntarily turned over the equipment to law enforcement. And Proper's mother told investigators he had recently begun communicating with an online group whose members were claimed to be former military personnel and described themselves as Christian-based. Okay, here we go. She said the group appeared to be influencing him and that she noticed him becoming increasingly focused on physical training and tactical preparation. After local authorities contacted FBI, investigators reviewed Popper's phone and allegedly discovered signal chats discussing plans for an attack on June 14, including the use of explosive-laden drones and shooters positioned near evac routes. Prosecutors also alleged Popper later admitted participating in planning discussions. See something? Say something. His mother did the right thing. She intervened just before they went totally active. If she would have waited probably another day, they probably would not have been able to stop that action. All right. But she did. And, you know, it said he bought weapons with $3,000. If he bought pistols with that money, along with assault rifles or semi-automatic rifles, because you can convert one real easy. If he was 19, if he bought a pistol under the age of 21, he's in trouble. And whoever sold him the pistol is in trouble. Wherever he got the pistol from is in trouble. So this is going to be like an onion layer response to the whole situation, where sooner or later they're going to figure out who sold them the weapons, were they legally sold to them, and why was he possessing them, right? So back to DC. So we know that Jay Clayton has been nominated by the president to be the new ODNI, replacing Tulsi Gabbard, right? Well, that his confirmation hearing, man, I tell you what, that was a land speed record, because it was announced like Friday, and they had already announced a confirmation hearing this afternoon in the Senate. I mean, Washington don't work that fast. Uh, so the president said this is going too fast. Y'all need to properly vet him to be the new DNI. So he put a slowdown on that nomination vote, because he also nominated his personal attorney, Mr. McDonald, to be the SDNY, SDNY, yeah, the Southern District of New York U.S. Attorney. He put out he does not want the DNI vote to happen until McDonald is confirmed as the U.S. Attorney in the Southern District, and to slow down on the vote for Jay Clayton, and to allow Ed Pulte a little bit more time to be the acting DNI. I mean, it's a whirlwind approach, all right? But the president said they're working too fast, right? To leave Pulte in there for a little while longer, then have the confirmation session with Clayton, and have a confirmation vote for McDonald, and it all work out, right? There's something, right? So this is what came out just a little while ago, all right? I mean, right before I came on air. I knew a little bit about it because Vince has been talking about it the last couple of days, yesterday morning. Uh, Former SEC Chair Walter J. Clayton was set to face senators on what is expected to be a tense confirmation hearing to become the Director of National Intelligence today. But President Trump abruptly halted the proceedings, declaring it in an early morning Truth Social that Clayton's confirmation hearing would not move forward on Wednesday. While Trump commands a great deal of authority, he can't cancel a hearing on the Hill on his own. But sources familiar with Fox News told Fox News it will be hard to have a hearing without a witness, and presumably postponed the hearing had been set against the backdrop of Democrats' weeks-long uproar over President Trump's temporary pick for the job, home builders scheme, and Federal Housing Finance Agency Bill Pulte. Clayton is currently serving as U.S. Attorney in Southern District of New York, which is considered the most prominent of the dozens of national posts with Illuminati, with Rudy Giuliani, and I don't know who Pre Bear is. I guess that person's somebody. Senator Mark Kelly, a top Trump critic, told reporters Tuesday that concerns over Pulte could actually help push Clayton through once he appears before the Intelligence Committee. I would love to hear some assurances from the White House that Pulte is not going to take over as DNI. He was not nominated by the president being the DNI. He was appointed as the acting DNI until the confirmation vote. Case in point, how many different agencies is Marco Rubio ahead of, other than just the State Department? Take that in. Remember that. Remember it well. So to go along with that, right, there's an effort in Congress because they need the DNI because the FISA is in lapse and they need the Senate to confirm him, and they need this Section 702 reapplied to the government. But at the same time, the president also wants that Save America Act, which is extremely important because you get the Save America Act, you get voter ID, you get proof of citizenship, you get severe restrictions on mail-in ballots. I'll stop right there. Hopefully tomorrow, the Supreme Court at 9 o'clock reveals its opinion on the mail-in ballots. If you're able to continue to count mail-in ballots after Election Day. We'll see, right? But no mail-in ballots except for illness, disability, military, and travel. No men and women's sports. No transgender mutilation surgery for our children. That's from the president. No Save America Act. No FISA. Okay? Let me say it again. No Save America Act. No FISA Act. Plain and simple. It's easy for people to understand that we need the election reform in our country. If you want the Fourth Amendment investigating procedures to stay in place, you will pass the Save America Act. Everything will work out when you do that. Just pass the Save America Act and then pass the FISA Act. All right? What are we doing on time? It's 8:38. Man, we're doing pretty good. So the FBI on June 11th. See, the FBI is like serious work. What are we doing on here? We got 7 people online. Okay. Also, I got 8 people. Another person turned up, which is cool. Don't forget, if you're watching this on demand or live, if you have not clicked the follow button, which is the bell besides where it says the JP8 report, click the bell, go to the bottom, and you see follow, click that, and then give us a like as the thumbs up button. Give me a like there, okay? So on June 11th, the FBI raided a voters group headquarters that was funded by George Soros, the Hungarian U.S. citizen that is a communist. I don't know who's worse, George Soros, Alex Soros, or Neville Singham. I mean, one of those 3 are worse than the others. I think Singham is worse, but this guy is just as bad. Federal investigators raided a Soros-funded voters mobilization group on Thursday as part of a reported ongoing fraud investigation. The FBI raided the headquarters of the Ohio Organizing Collaborative on June 11th and deployed across the state to question members of the organization, sometimes bearing subpoenas or demanding to seize electronic devices. MS Now reported that. A day later, that'd be the 12th of June, that's a Saturday, that's a Friday. A day later, multiple sources familiar with events told CBS that the operations were part of a fraud-related investigation. The raid marks the flashpoint in the Trump. The raid marks the latest flashpoint in the Trump admin's expanded use of federal law enforcement to scrutinize of alleged voter fraud and election-related misconduct, a push cheered by conservatives long argued such cases were under-enforced and condemned by Democrats and voting rights groups as who say the risk of turning the FBI into a political weapon against liberal voter registration operations, like they've done to us. Okay. OOC is a nonprofit organization that works closely with the Democrats in Ohio on voter mobilization registration efforts. It is especially active for ballot referendums, tapping the vast donor network that includes the Soros family penitentiaries. And the DOJ has declined to discuss it. Now, where did I see that? I saw. Hold on just a second. Oh, okay. So to go along with that, it was uncovered that, and we already knew this, but the Biden DOJ actually targeted parents at school board meetings, despite FBI and sheriff's objections. That's crazy. But former President Joe Biden's Justice Department used federal law enforcement to target parents at school board meetings as potential threats, despite warnings from FBI officials and National Sheriff's Association, according to American First Legal analysis of the new government documents it obtained. AFL said it acquired the documents as part of an ongoing lawsuit related to former Attorney General Merrick Garland. October 4th, 2021 memorandum that targeted concerned parents at school board meetings during the COVID pandemic. The memo, okay, so October 4th, 2021, the day the memo was released, FBI Assistant Director Jay Greenberg, that's a bad guy, emailed the Office of the Deputy Attorney General stating the FBI had some concern. He requested additional time to engage before messaging about the infamous memo that went out. Greenberg also asked for help to find common ground we can all support. Some inside the DOJ also fretted the strategy as would boomerang and create political headache for elections. I don't think it's possible to show how to state how strongly I object to this. I will completely and totally nuke our election efforts. It did. And will damage the reputation of the public integrity section into the bargain. It's like they've affirmatively trying to make this thing not work and look political. If they do this, they might as well rename the thing the Anti-MAGA Task Force. The National Sheriff's Um, Hold on just a second. Oh, okay. So, okay. So that's about all they got in there. But they have the memos, they have the receipts to show that it actually really took place under the direction of Merrick Garland. All right. Okay. So Kevin Warsh. Kevin Warsh is the new Federal Reserve chair. He got sworn in last month. Today is his first meeting, and they're going to have an interest rate vote. They're expecting the interest rates to remain the same because of the upward pressure about inflation in the United States, right? But yeah, this is his first one. Man, I'm all congested. Hold on just a second. 8:46. Okay. Federal Reserve Chair Kevin Warsh is expected to lead his first interest rate meeting today, which will be followed by a press conference from which borrowers and investors will be able to assess his plans to keep the U.S. economy on track. President Trump nominated Warsh, a former Federal Reserve governor, as chairman in January, but was not able to assume the post until Federal Reserve Chair Jerome Powell's term ended last month. Warsh has vowed to keep the Fed Reserve strictly independent and oversee monetary policy despite Trump's push for the Fed to lower interest rates. Investors expect the Federal Reserve to keep interest rates steady, and that decision will be made at 1 p.m. today, Central Time, right? Followed by a press conference. So we'll know he's going to go up there and tell the people that either he raised interest rates, kept them the same, or lowered the interest rates. All right? So that's at 1 p.m. Eastern, 2 p.m. Eastern, as you are. So talking about money, before let's see, what are we doing? We're at 8:47. We're good. Okay, so debt. We're at 39 plus trillion dollars in debt, going on $40 trillion, right? We have to pay off that debt and the interest onto that, or it's going to crush us severely. I mean, I can speak from experience because I've had to go through bankruptcy before. It's no secret because court filings are public. We are in trouble as a country. And we got all these people always want to spend other people's money, right? So the the federal government's financial trajectory is becoming increasingly unsustainable, according to a new GAO, as big Government Accountability Office, report that warns rising debt and interest rates could create a dire economic issue if policymakers do not take significant action soon. In its annual fiscal health report to Congress released this week, the GAO said that publicly held debt was 31.3 trillion as of April, which is roughly equal to the size of the country's economy. The public debt is projected to grow more than twice as fast as the economy over the next 10 years, reaching 123% of the economy by 2036. The current tax and spending policy that figure into projected to continue climbing rapidly in the coming decades. So sooner or later, oh my goodness, check this paragraph out, and then we'll go to the next subject here, okay? GAO projected that the debt will be held by public will surpass its previous 106 GDP by 2029 and rise to 123% by 2036. Over the next 3 decades, the watchdog group estimated the public debt burden could swell to 251% of GDP. Over the long term, it is unsustainable for debt to grow faster than the economy grows. Wow. Wow. So I know I keep saying wow. That is unbelievable. We allow ourselves to get so deep in debt and we keep spending, spending, and spending. All right. Um, it's got to end somewhere, right? You can't raise taxes because people can't afford to live. You can't cut taxes because that'll raise the deficit up even higher. It's got to be a happy medium somewhere, people. We got to figure this out. Tomorrow morning at 9 a.m., there's supposed to be Supreme Court opinions. There are, I believe, either 17 or 20 opinions left to be released to the public. So tomorrow we might get a couple of them. The two big ones out there, I remember at the top of my head right now, is the mail-in ballots and the birthright citizenship. Those are the two cases that are pending to be submitted for opinion tomorrow, hopefully. It all depends on the status that the people that are dissenting have finished up their arguments that they want to present to the whole court and nation. So we could get opinions tomorrow, or they'll make us wait another week. I mean, we shall see, right? But if they do put them out tomorrow on Friday morning's JP8 report, they'll be in there. I will definitely. I always follow the Supreme Court. I try to give y'all as much political news as possible. And yes, I do read a lot of it. I already read it. I develop an opinion about it, but you still got to cite it, okay? This next one came from the Federalist, right? The Federalist website. The Supreme Court has agreed to hear the case on Trump's detention of illegal aliens. The U.S. Supreme Court agreed on Monday, 2 days ago, to take up and decide a case involving a pivotal aspect of the Trump's administration's immigration enforcement agenda. As part of its weekly order list, the High Court revealed that it has granted a request from the government to hold arguments in Janilo versus Black, presumably for the 2026-27 term. At least four justices must agree to hear a case before it can be considered for the full court. The case deals with the administration's detention to be deported illegal aliens under a provision of the Immigration Nationality Act. The matter more specifically deals with the whether the government can keep aliens in detention facilities without bond, hearing based on pending deportation proceedings. And then this has been in the works since 2020 when Janalo was first arrested. All right. This is a short article. Okay, so that will be the next term of the Supreme Court. There's another one that they're considering taking up, and it's whether the EPA, their outreach, like what they were talking about, like we need to let's say, climate control, because that was the darling for the Democrats. They passed this Inflation Reduction Act, and then it goes over to the EPA, right? And the EPA says, well, I know you want to lower greenhouse gases. That's what it says, but the bill didn't say much in it. So we're going to rule like this. This is what they're trying to prevent. Uh, it's got to come from Congress to be effective. Until the court addresses the flawed and non-textual non-delegation doctrine, federal agencies will continue to make laws and pick winners and losers. I just said that. Right? It's like putting that kill switch in a vehicle. It ain't going to work. The EPA under the Biden administration crafted a cap and trade scheme to allocate market share in the multi-billion-dollar hydrofluorocarbons industry, including a new market participants based only on the promotion of equity. Now that is out of business, the EPA ordered a market share loser under the federal agency constitutionally take over the hydrofluorocarbons industry, seeks review by the Supreme Court, and that pending petitions addressed to the sleeper case represents a sleeper case that could implode as much of the administration's state if it makes it on the higher court's docket near next term. Okay. So Lee Zeldin has been doing a whole lot of this stuff for the Trump administration, and he's cut out so much fraud, right? But the problem is when we cross into the next fiscal year, a lot of that fraud comes back. And it's a never-ending battle. It's like a sucking chest wound that never returns. That will never go away. All right. And then I'm out of time. Man, 8:57. Okay. So tomorrow evening at Area 254 in Killeen. All right. It's off 4th Street on the north side of I-14, over by where Raising Cane's is. It's the old Kmart shopping center. Area 254 will be Planks and Politics. It starts at 6 p.m. Be there, have fun. Chip Howell's organized it, right? And then we have, I don't have a slide for it, but we have our organizational meeting for the Coryell County Republican Party on the 30th of June. Yes, on the 30th of June, Tuesday, 6 p.m. We're having our organization meeting. That's where we elect new officers to the organization meeting. Like vice chair, secretary, and treasurer. The swear in the county chair and swear in all the precinct chairs. All right. So go have fun and listen to us there. It's 8:59. I'm going to execute our raid into the Dan Bongino show. I hope you enjoy it. Yesterday's was really good. And you have more about the alleged plot. Okay? So I hope everybody has a great day. I'm going to show my end page. There it is. You can find me on X, Fakebook, ScrewTube, True Social, and there's my email address. I just confirmed the Dan Bongino show raid. So 10 seconds, it'll be over there. Y'all have a great day. I will see y'all tomorrow morning with the morning brief at 6:30 Central. Have a great one. I'm out.